Hello, this is Allen Chang from Launch Tabletop. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Inkscape and Scribus to prepare your custom punch board. So I'm going to use a customer's supplied artwork as an example. So on the screen here is a large square-sized custom punch board. The outer perimeter is the punch board sheet itself, with the internals, the die lines showing where the tokens are. What we're going to be doing is using Inkscape for the majority of the tasks, and Scribus is really only used to define the spot colors, which is something that Inkscape unfortunately does not support. To start off with, we will go and find our default template. So everything is default, nothing needs to change. We click OK. And what you see here is what it looks like when you open up the file in Inkscape. What you want to do from here is essentially you want to just start creating your shapes. This video is really just to show you how you can bring everything together and have it prepared and ready for uploading it to Launch Tabletop. So what I'll do here is I'm actually going to bring in a pre-existing internal line shapes that had already been created by the customer. So these are all the shapes that has already been done. Notice that you want to make sure that there's bleed around the cut lines. The red ones are the cut lines and the purple are the bleed. So what I'll do is I'm just going to cut this out of this one and paste this one in from here. And then I'm going to bring up. So what I will then do is go to the alignment. It should be here. So then I just want to make sure that I'm lining this centered to the page. So that looks pretty good. And so what we can do now is create a new layer. And I'm going to call this one artwork. Place that at the bottom. And then I'm going to import that artwork in, artwork front. Put that inside artwork. And then I'm going to align this centered so that you will notice that the customer's artwork doesn't quite fully reach the bleed lines. So this is something that the customer will probably want to address. But for the moment, we're going to set the issue aside and then consider this as complete. We're going to save that as a completed. So we'll say this one is work front Inkscape. I've previously created a version here already, but for the exercise of this video, we'll do this again. And click OK. So we'll replace the previously made version. Okay, so now that is done, we'll set that aside. And we're going to open that up in Scribus. So we'll go to the artwork front inkscape.pdf file. Keep everything default. And now we have the Scribus document opened. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go to colors and fills And notice that there's the purple one there and then the red one there. Those are the ones that you want to redefine as spot colors. So the way you do that is you go edit, change this to bleed line, set that as a spot color. Usually with color models, it's best to use CMYK, but in this case, it actually doesn't quite matter. So as long as you make sure that you say this is a spot color and that it is a bleed line. The actual color values don't matter. So it could be whatever color you want. It just so happens that we use purple in Launch Tabletop. But again, this doesn't matter. The name is what matters. So then you want to then click OK. The little red glowing dot tells you that this is a spot color. And then now you want to go to the second one and you want to call this one dieline. Set the spot color and click OK. So we've got bleed line and dieline. Now the name itself is a little bit more tolerant. It can be all lowercase, it can be just bleed, it can just be die, it can even be cut or cut line, bleed, bleed line. They all would work. So once you've done that, click OK. And you're ready for export. So when you go to export, go to save as PDF. Now, when you save it, I'm going to change saving the name of this to Artwork Front Scribus. Replace the old one. Now, there is a couple of things you want to pay attention within here. So when you go to color, you want to set the output intended for printer. And the reason why you want to do this is because when it's screen and web, it will throw away the spot color information. So if you set it as printer and click this to save, click OK. Now that is done, we are done. So we should now be able to go to your component upload and grab the Scribus one that I just created. Let it upload and allow it to check. And it looks like the report has come back successful. No errors and no warnings, everything is a success. So that is how you can use both Inkscape and Scribus. So to summarize, you want to do as much as you can using Inkscape to create your lines. And once all the lines have been created, you save that PDF and then you bring it into Scribus. And then within Scribus, you want to go into colors and fills and to set the colors that it found in your document and make sure that the lines in here has the setting with the name and the spot color has been set. Color itself doesn't matter. Click OK. And you want to do that for both bleed line and die line. When you save, always make sure that your color intention is set for the printer. And that's everything that you need to know to get your artwork to pass validation. Thank you.